Oh, look at my slipper shoes things. That's my towel I just used. Oh, I just took a nice shower to, you know, I didn't use it to clean myself. I took a shower to think, clean myself. Um, but I also heard about those LA ice raids, and uh, then I also saw a news clip, and I hear people on the news and just people in general always talking about they. People like to always talk about how immigrants are so valuable to the economy, and it's true, they are, but in addition to that, they're kind of I've said that too, um, but that's kind of not the most important reason to take. Oh man, I still got itchies on me, on my body. Um, Maybe I should do what Bill Burr was talking about and have lotion all over my body. Um, but anyways, what I was going to say is that's probably not the more important issue. Is that I think everybody needs to start really realizing that, like I said before, you need to realize and take in that humanity is no longer a city-state or nation-state kind of situation. We are a world community. And, I love conservatives like to say, the globalists and the globalists and the globalists, but that's what we are. We're a global civilization now. And if you want to live with a nationalist mindset, then you're gonna have to kill yourself, because you're just not living in reality anymore. That's just, that time has passed. You were born too late, and your job, the best help you can do for the world now is just to die off, because you're holding everybody else back. You are literally stopping progress by being alive now. And that's, again, many times, I don't know if I've said this in any videos, but a lot of times the best thing old people can do, there's two things old people can do that's good for the world. One is pass on their knowledge, and two is die. Because, need to pass on the old knowledge, and then the young people will say, I am going to keep the old knowledge, that's good, and discard the old knowledge and the old ways that are shitty. And that's what the new generation does. They keep the old ways that are good and useful, and they discard the old ways that are irrelevant and shitty and keep the world from moving forward. And old people, because they're living longer, and in a democracy, they keep having a vote, keep holding shit back. Yeah, keep stalling progress from happening. And keep having these, especially in America, keep having these fucking lobbies and keep having the power to brainwash young people into thinking just absolute nonsense, which further stalls stuff. Now, it doesn't work as good, so not as many young people hold on to as many archaic beliefs, but some still get carried through, most notably religion. But what are you going to do? Even religion keeps getting more and more diluted. And I've used the example of like Amish people. Even Amish people have technology now in their daily lives because it's just too, it's just too inescapable. But yeah. Probably not every Amish community, but some definitely do. God damn, fucking scratching my shit. It's mainly because I'm sitting. When I'm walking, I'm not gonna be. So, yeah. Where'd I start with the ice raids and stuff? I don't know. But, yeah. I don't know where I was. Started with the ice raids and immigrants. Oh yeah, basically how they're people and we should take care of them. And, we do need to take care of them. We need to take care of them because they're people. Because sooner or later, the EU is going to merge with the African Union, and then they're going to, join up with a lot of the Middle Eastern states after Israel is just sanctioned as fuck for what they're doing now. And then once the EU and the AU, once the EU and the African Union join up, that's going to be a huge block because the African Union is not going to stay with BRICS forever. Once Africa already knows, I'm dead certain, Africa already knows that that China is just trying to get underneath them and, you know, make Africa their bitch. But for the time being, Africa's like, yeah, sure, we'll take your money. Whatever. We ain't gonna pay you back, but, you know, we need infrastructure. So, yeah, sure, build infrastructure here. We ain't gonna pay you back, but whatever. We know you're basically a dictatorship, but if you want to build stuff here, that's fine. And then as soon as there's infrastructure and shit there, they're going to move to align themselves with a non-dictatorship, because African countries, by and large, are democracies. So they're not going to stay aligned with China, by and large. Unless, of course, what I suspect is going to happen to China is I suspect China is going to start to move to a more democratic society, even though it's going to be kind of slow. Like the pressure is going to build more and more. I mean, I don't know exactly how to phrase this, because it's going to require a tension of the sort of the Chinese civilian population is going to more and more get middle classer and more rich, basically, and more, we're not working in factories and shit anymore, more American, more European style working class and service class and all that stuff. And once they're at that kind of working standard, the CCP is going to not really have that great of a time mentally controlling them. It's going to be much more difficult to propagandize them in that kind of a fashion. So either they're going to have to spend so much money on internal security that it's just going to destroy their economy, or they're going to have to kind of start inching their way towards a more egalitarian society, and kind of loosening their grip on the populace of the country. If indeed that's what it is, I don't know. I've never been there, so I don't really know what the country is like. So I can't even really say myself. It's all what I hear. So again, I can't even really say myself. I'm betting it's not as repressive as something like Russia or, one of those Middle Eastern countries where, you can't, you can't even, like, I don't know, have a picture of Muhammad or something like that. It would probably be bad if you were wearing a shirt of Xi Jinping naked, getting fucked in the ass by a big muscly black dude with a, holding up a flag of China burning or something like that. If you were walking around with that on, they would probably arrest you. Like, man, I'm just a tourist. Um, I don't know though. I don't know what the limits are. So, as for South America, I have, the South American continent. I have no idea when that whole thing is going to turn around, because as far as the American media coverage of South America is concerned, our journalism just basically labels that entire area as a war zone. So I know nothing about it other than, it's a war zone controlled by drug cartels. That's the only information we get, unless you want to do your own research, which you don't. So, based on passive sensors, that's the only information I have. It's a reference to Star Trek. I don't really seek out information. I just let information kind of come to me, and So yeah, we're going to be a true global civilization very soon, and we are going to have an explicit global government, probably within my lifetime. And I don't mean the UN, I mean an explicit global government with a parliament, something like that, that has, taxation power, army raising power, legislative capability, all of that stuff. And it will be extremely controversial, especially in the United States, and the South will probably try to fight it. And there will probably be other countries that will probably try to fight it, and blah, blah, blah. But it'll be better for everyone. It'll be like, I don't know, America does not want to join the world, I don't know what it would call the World Coalition, the United Earth Directorate. I like that from StarCraft. The UED. But it'd be pretty hard once, 3/4 of the world is signed on, and America is the last major nation to not join the world in it. Because, the fucking South is too stubborn. Then we'd probably see, parts of the U.S. just break off and be like, yeah, we're just not doing this anymore. Anyways, that's enough of that. Boobs Mickey out. Boobs.